Trying to make sense of human suffering is often is the question that we find ourselves pondering as we look at so many people in the world that are suffering. It's the question that has come to us oftentimes. Why does bad things happen to good people? One time I had a young pediatric patient. He was about 17 years old when I was a chaplain at the children's hospital I worked at. And this young patient, young man, was before his time. He was full of life. He was full of meaning and purpose. He was so respectful. He was so into life. Before he came into the hospital with his terminal cancer diagnosis, he was an up-and-coming boxing star. Yes, he was a boxer. But within himself, he was fighting a fight now that he didn't ask for. One time, another friend of his, a 17-year-old cancer patient, good friend of his, they used to get in trouble on the unit together. But when this patient passed away, he really struggled with the question of suffering. And it wasn't just for him or even his friend, it was for all the children on the unit who were battling and suffering with sicknesses. Many of them were terminal sicknesses. And he really was trying to find some type of meaning, some type of way to justify the suffering. Music was our common ground. Oftentimes when I would come visit him, the intervention that I would do as a chaplain is just listening to music. He liked rap music. I remember he played a song after his friend passed away entitled The Devil's Works by Joyner Lucas. The song was a very real and raw song. I mean, we had to be careful not to play it too loud in the hospital on the unit. In the song, the rapper have a very real conversation with God, a real conversation where he expresses his anger with God, and he asks God the question, why do you take all the good people and allow the bad ones to stay? And in the song, he actually named names. He named the good people that he took, such as Michael Jackson, Nipsey Hussle, and Tupac. And then he said, why you take them but then leave the bad ones? He named those, but I won't mention them in this discourse. But after the rapper had poured out his heart, his pain around the grief of losing so many good people, he concluded with the quote, I know this is not your fault, God, but it was the devil's works. As the song ended, my patient sat quietly for a moment, and he said, I don't think what is happening to me is God's doing. I don't even think it's the devil's work. But I just need to understand that I don't need to be angry, and I just want peace. That moment stuck with me. Music didn't give him the answer, but it gave him a voice to his struggle. It allowed him to wrestle with grief in a way that felt honest. And somehow through the beat, the lyrics, and the reflection in the song, he found his own voice and his own peace. And maybe that's what music can do, and even the arts in the midst of our struggle. It doesn't solve suffering, but it lets us sit with it. It gives us permission to be angry, to question, and to grieve. And sometimes, like it did for my young patient, it helps us make peace with that which we cannot change. I would conclude this reflection with this one quote from an unknown author. It says, the real question is not not why bad things happen to good people, but what good people do when bad things happen.